that it was with the approval of with the approval of Peter Obi to form that association to go to SDP to see if they can have their chances there and then form a coalition with SDP and El Rufai. I think you can remember when that story came out.
Yeah.
So that tells you where and how differently he is working around, and that is not a good direction for a politician that wish to be the president of Nigeria. Jonathan has remained consistent, and I think I need to give him that credit. He has made his mark in the Nigerian government, in the Nigerian governance as one-time president, and I believe he will be a good bride to see if PDP, let me just put this, if PDP will have Jonathan back, I think they will be lucky. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Show me. Be on the show me. Show me. Be on the show me. And the way it is, a lot of people are shouting and say, well, Jonathan constitutionally has just one term to serve. But our president also constitutionally has one term to serve. So why does it look as if Jonathan is the almighty? Yeah, why does it look as if, well, Jonathan will be the lucky bird? Why does it look as if who is in power right now doesn't even have, is not constitutionally okay with the next term?
Well, when you look at, will Jonathan be able to contest the next election? I doubt it. Because
he has the right to contest. He still has, what if he has to, if he wants to, I mean, he can. He has a time.
Simply because he has taken the oath of office twice. We should not forget what happened when Yar'Adua left with that tenure. He did take an oath of office. We all participated in trying to get when some forces were not going to allow him to take over office. I mean, many Nigerians participated in the call, and then he was allowed to take office, and then swore, to an oath. Then again, when he contested after the end of Yar'Adua's tenure, he won the election. Again, he took the second oath. And that led to some controversy when he wanted to contest for the third term. And of course, there was some resistance strictly from the north. And of course, he failed. He was not able to secure his ambition of doing a second term, full term.
Did he fail or he surrendered?
No, he contested and lost. He contested the election and lost to Buhari. And we should not forget that since then, under Buhari's regime, the electoral rules have been amended. Once you have taken the oath of office twice, you are not able to contest, election again. So it does not matter whether you took that oath of office as acting president or you actually took it in a full term. Once you've taken it twice, and that is why I'm a bit pessimistic that Jonathan will be a candidate in that election because he had taken the oath of office twice. The rules have been amended, and I feel that realization dawned on Jonathan himself, and that was why you saw the wife, going to Abuja, affirming their trust and their support for Tinubu. So I'm not sure Jonathan will be able to contest. This has to be tested in court in the light of the amendment of his of the electoral rule. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is Jonathan combining with Obi. What will that achieve? Jonathan lost the election as a result of his unpopularity. Yes, people can argue that life was a bit more tolerable under Jonathan than now. We should also not forget that life was better tolerable under Obasanjo. Obasanjo did not remove any subsidy, but Jonathan did. And that led to a momentous, historic record of protest in Nigeria. Since the Second World War, we had over 2 million people in Ojota, Nigerians, protesting. And of course, that contributed to the unpopularity of Jonathan. Nigerians know why they rejected Jonathan when they did. A lot of it hangs around his own economic policies too. So therefore, I do not share my colleagues' optimism or opinion that Jonathan's regime remained the best. We were on the trajectory, downwards when Jonathan was in office. Yes, I would admit that life was still a bit better, but we went down the cliffs, during Buhari, to the extent that we printed 31 trillion naira without any productive value to back it up. So therefore, we knew how we got to where we are, and then a radical problem requires a radical surgery. So we had to pay the price one way or the other. So as far as I can see it, Jonathan and Obi's ticket will never fly, in the sense that we should not forget how Jonathan himself became the president. It's simply because Obasanjo brought him in to partner with a sick Yaradua. That's how he became the president. It was not, it was, some people will describe him as an accidental president. So we should not forget the geographical issues. For instance, the Northwest and Southwest are 50% of the electorates. And that factor has always been working, in the ding-dong between, the Northwest and the Southwest. So there are practical realities on the ground, which we must relate to, that will militate against that ticket. And that fact will not be lost, on Jonathan himself. I doubt whether the PDP layoff, of Jonathan will actually work eventually. I'm a bit pessimistic. I think PDP may even end up with an Obi rather than a Jonathan, as his presidential candidate.
All right. In all of this report, in all of this thing, definitely sometimes big questions are being asked. And I definitely know the politicians too might also put this in mind. But one person is actually talking tough. That's the former presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Dumebi Kachuku, where he says that Jonathan has proposed appointing Peter Obi a coordinating minister of the economy. Don't forget too, we had rumors like that. This current president right now also proposed to offer a ministerial role to Peter Obi. Let's hear from him, and then we'll come back and talk more.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, a man who claims affinity and friendship with the South,
Super
does not
92.7
believe any
FM.
South.
One family, one radio.
Former President
92.7 Super FM.
Your one family, one radio,
In
Super
that desperation to hijack
92.7
the ADC, they
FM.
deliberately
One family, one radio.
never get bottom votes.
92.7 Super
As
FM.
such,
Your
he should
one
accept
family,
to be
one
Atiku's
radio,
running mate.
Super 92.7
In order to weaken the
FM.
South,
One family,
former President
one radio. 92.7 Super FM.
Your
position of
one
coordinating
family,
minister
one radio,
of the economy
Super
for him to
92.7
support his
FM.
ambition.
One family, one radio. 92.7 Super FM.
Former
Your one
presidential
fam-
candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Dumebi Kachuku, claiming that ex-president Goodluck Jonathan has proposed appointing Peter Obi coordinating minister of the economy on the condition that Obi withdraws from the 2027 presidential race. I'll come to Mr. Ibrahim. Mr. Ibrahim, do you see this as a propaganda against Peter Obi?
Oh, well, yeah, it could, as a matter of fact, work as a propaganda, because in politics, you don't take everything you hear hook, line, and sinker. I want to believe that it could be a propaganda just to sell out an idea for Nigerians to be distracted. I want to believe that also, because in politics, part of the way they play the game is to send out a message and see the reaction of the people. And then again, I want to add from what my colleague just said concerning Jonathan's defeat in the 2011 general election. Jonathan didn't lose that election on the fact that for lack of performance. He lost that election purely out of political gimmicks that were played within that period. We are all, those that watch closely the political development within that period knows that most of the protests that were carried on against Jonathan that period were politically driven, just to give him a bad name. And the same people that drove that protest and sponsored those protests at that time, are they not the same people now who are removing oil subsidy without consideration? So let us be very fair as we analyze some of these things. One thing I might want to agree with him, and which I think it is still debatable, is whether Jonathan is eligible to contest the election based on the amended laws or on the amended guideline, if I may. But does that sit or does that agree with our constitution? I think the court will be allowed to finalize on that note. But a Jonathan candidacy, I want to believe, based on the past experience when he was the president, will be